Hey everybody, hope you're doing well today. This is Brad Cartwright with Econ Course Companion, and today we're going to take a look at a very important concept in the profit section of cost, revenues, and profit called the profit maximizing output. And I'm going to draw a big fat red circle around output right from the beginning, because what you're looking for is a quantity of Q, a quantity of output. A profit maximizing output of Q, but profit maximizing does not mean that you're actually A, going to make any profit if you're the firm, or B, that those profits will be maximized, okay? It just means that you found an output level where if you manage your costs effectively, you could maximize your profits, all right? Remember that, it's super important. All right, so let's take a look at the market structure first of perfect competition, yeah? Because as you know well, we got to take this profit situation and apply it to different market structures, those market structures being this market structure where firms are price takers, okay? Price takers are perfect competition operators, firms operating in perfect competition, right? And why is it perfect competition, or the best example of perfect competition for me is the international currency market. If you want to open up a kiosk and sell currencies, guess what? Every morning you're going to wake up, you're going to look at your phone, and you're going to check the foreign currency markets, and you're going to get prices for all of your products. Because if you are a kiosk, foreign exchange kiosk in some airport around the world, you got no choice but to charge the price, to take the prices established in the foreign exchange markets. You are a price taker. You cannot sell your dollars or whatever the currencies you're going to exchange for anything less than the market rate. Why? Because no one will come and stand in your line. They'll go to the next place. Okay, so in perfect competition, which is a theoretical market structure, yeah, the profit maximizing level of output is going to be where marginal cost equals marginal revenue. Okay. So, of course, profit maximizing is thought to be the general goal of firms. It involves making profit as large as possible, and it's achieved by producing a level of output where the difference between total revenue and total cost is the largest. And the place where you could find that is where MC equals MR. Marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue. No matter the market structure, whether it be perfect competition, as we are studying now, or the next slide is going to be looking at the other market structures of monopoly, monopolistic competition, and oligopoly being a kind of bit different. But in any event, those three market structures, those three other case studies we study in IB Economics, they're price makers. But in perfect competition, they're price takers. And therefore, here's the revenue curve. And in any of these things, as you move forward now that we're combining the cost curves and the revenue curves to figure out if we're making profit, I'm telling you, always remember to do and draw, first of all, perfect diagrams, but think about yourself as drawing the revenue curves first. Revenue curves first. So if I were drawing this, of course, I would label my axes perfectly, price, cost, a currency, always put dollars is the easiest, a zero, an output over here, and in dollars. This I've took from Jocelyn Blink, of course, the author of the most selling IB textbook, Economics Course Companion on the planet. All right. So what does she do? Well, think about step one. Step one, draw the revenue curve. Okay, draw the revenues curve. There always are three revenue curves. They are demand, their average revenue, and their marginal revenue. And in perfect competition, these curves are actually the same curve, because as a price taker, price is going to equal the demand curve. It's going to be perfectly elastic. Why? Because this is the price that the guy in the kiosk that sells foreign exchange in the foreign exchange market, he opened up his phone and boom, got a price. Hey man, you're trying to sell Chilean pesos relative to the dollar? You got to charge 650 pesos today. I know yesterday it was 660, but too bad. You got to charge 650 today. So he's a price taker. And because he's a price taker, no matter what quantity of dollars or pesos are exchanged, he's got to charge the same price, right? And he's not going to lower the price, because then he's losing money. And you're not going to raise the price because no one will stand in line at his kiosk. Okay, so regardless of the quantity of dollars exchanged for pesos, the price is unchangeable. And therefore, for his average revenue per dollar sold in pesos is going to be 650. Why? Because that's the price. and therefore the marginal revenue, which is the change in revenue from 1 peso or $1 to the next, is the same. So therefore it's perfectly elastic. Okay? Great. Draw that curve and then come back and draw your marginal revenue curve like that. Now, Jocelyn Blink drew it above price. It doesn't have to. It could start here and go up like that. And guess what? If you want to know where the profit maximizing level of output is, you needn't remember anything more than that. MC equals MR. And if you don't even understand why, it doesn't really even, I mean, you should understand why. But if you just remember that, MC equals MR, you're going to know where the profit maximizing output is. And the profit maximizing level of output is critical to understanding how this firm could maximize its profits. Okay? So, therefore, you have a revenue box of PQ2. This revenue box is the largest revenue box that you can draw in this market of perfect competition in our made-up world of this man running a kiosk selling foreign exchange, right? The man has no incentive to sell it down here. Why? Because he's leaving money on the table, and if he raises the price, he's going to lose all business, right? So as a result of that, P equaling MC creates a quantity there, and guess what? That is the profit maximizing level of output for a firm in perfect competition. Now, what about the other market structures? What about the other market structures of monopoly, right? Monopolistic competition or oligopoly. Well, in those market structures, guess what? What you need to do is the same thing, except in the other market structures, you are going to have a situation where they are price makers. What are price makers? They are like every other firm on the planet besides those who operate in perfect competition. Therefore, they have a normal downward sloping demand curve because they have a decision to make about what price they want to charge for their product. Okay? But always, all of their quantity of products is going to be sold at the same price level. So therefore, demand always equals average revenue. Okay? So draw your demand average revenue curve, then draw your marginal revenue curve that is roughly diminishing at half of the rate, or twice the rate rather, twice as quickly as your demand and average revenue curve. Boom, stop. Now what? Look and listen, then draw your MC Hammer curve. Marginal cost curve is such a lame joke. I'm sorry, folks. But I like to think about that, right? Then draw your marginal cost curve. And what are you looking for to find your maximizing level of output? Where MC equals MR, no matter the market structure. So here, where does MC equal MR? Bam, right there. And in this case, though, the Q, this quantity, so this quantity is huge. This is the quantity that is the maximum, the profit maximizing level of output. And this Q becomes exceptionally important. And as we talk about abnormal profit or normal profit or a loss, this quantity is the quantity that as a result of the profit maximizing intersection of MC equaling MR, this quantity is going to give the firm the highest chance of being profitable. And so if they know this quantity, then they know that this revenue box, PQ, is going to give them the highest chance of earning profits. So what's left? What's left is whether or not their average total costs are covered by this revenue box. And that's how you show abnormal or normal or a negative economic profit. Okay? But the profit, so therefore, the profit maximizing level of output in both of these market structures, the price takers market and the price makers market, is exactly the same. It looks different, but it's exactly the same. It's where MC equals MR, it's where MC equals MR, and these quantities extended upward will give them the highest chance of making revenue to the maximum. All right, my friend. Listen, this is a small section of the profit section of cost, revenue, and profit. If you're unsure, do not go on. Make sure you understand the points I made in this video. If you're lost in terms of the entire flow of things in the profit section of cost, revenue, and profit, I posted a monster video that's 40 minutes long. That's the entire lesson of profit. And hopefully that'll help you make sense of all of this if you're a little bit lost. This is but one part of it. All right, my friends, be good, be kind to one another. I hope you found this video to be helpful, and we shall talk to you in a bit.